What's going on, everybody? This is Randall Barnes, the founder of HBCU Pulse and Pulse Radio. Here in the building again, we have a big time interview. We're doing an amazing partnership with the Apollo documentary. Shelby, my co-host, is going to be hosting a panel about succeeding in the entertainment industry because we want to get HBCU students plugged in. And I have one of the panelists right here, Mr. Andre Watson. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, pretty good. But man, I'm trying to get like you.
We just do what we can.
Listen, I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to do everything I can to get right. But tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, my name is Andre Watson. I am the managing partner at the Purple Agency. It's a PR firm, lifestyle management marketing firm based out of Los Angeles, Atlanta, and New York. We work with a lot of emerging artists and established artists. We also work with a lot of organizations. Culture Creators is one that I work with, whose goal is to really put a highlight on the folks behind the scenes in entertainment and make sure that, we're giving flowers to the folks that are around while they're here. And so we do a lot of different things, but my background, my background, it's interesting. I didn't come from entertainment. I just kind of ended up here. But it's because that's what I always wanted to do. So I'm happy to have been able to transition to where I am and to do some of the things that we're doing right now.
I love it. So I got to ask this next question logically because you're in PR. So I think that we have a weird just perception of what PR is. Could you give us like an explanation of what it is just for the audience?
Yeah. So public relations. We are a traditional public relations firm. So if you're an artist or an actor, if you're a singer, typically you'll have projects that you want people to know about. So our job is to think about what are the outlets, whether they be digital, print, magazines, whether they be TV opportunities, what opportunities are out there for those creative folks to really promote their work. So that's PR in a nutshell. It's really going out and getting press for artists and various, folks.
And I actually saw a post about PR, which I think is very interesting. And it sort of broke down what a marketer and what a PR person is. And you talked about, the aspect of marketers. they help you and sort of direct your money for Facebook and Instagram and even radio. And like, a PR person more so just puts together that campaign to tell the story. So what made you get into PR?
Well, I think there's a distinction to make. There's advertising, there's PR, and there's marketing. You made that point. Advertising is when you see a billboard up, you spend money for a billboard to promote a project. The marketing piece comes into play, which that is really the plan that, the timeline, sort of, what you're looking to achieve. And the PR piece really, to your point, adds the story and really works that marketing plan. So they're three separate things, but we all work together.
So what do you think businesses and artists, do you think they should prioritize PR first, marketing, or just build an overall story? What do you think should be the first priority?
I think for artists, they should really think about what their team looks like. So, starting with management, starting with, obviously the art and the work. In terms of PR, I don't like to sort of step in until the marketing piece is done, because then we can go back and work a marketing plan. So if you don't have marketing in place, and you just want to jump to PR because you want articles and you want people to write about you, you're missing steps. So for me, I like to see, your team in place, to have a clear view of what it is that you want to do. And then we come in on the back end and help you put that story together and tell the story that you're trying to convey.
I love it. I think it's so important, like the aspect of telling the story and not skipping steps. So let's go back to your college journey. So I was talking to you earlier and you said you did not go to an HBCU, but you went to some schools though. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I went to Northwestern. I'm from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago. I went to Northwestern University undergrad and I studied communications. And for me, it's interesting because I've always been interested in entertainment and the arts. However, coming from Chicago, it never appeared real to me. It's just something that I saw on TV. I remember, watching the Grammys. I don't think I've ever not seen a Grammy Award since I can, remember. But that seems so far away. And so I moved to LA for another job. I worked for Rubbermaid. I sold garbage cans. And then I worked for Pfizer. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep. But being in LA, a lot of my friends at the time were actors, singers, dancers, and they were all trying to figure out, their situation. But as, various friends began to hit, because I had a business background, they would sort of bring me on and kind of help them sort of with the business behind, their art. And in doing so, I was able to kind of understand and learn the business just by being around it. And then, a few years passed and there were opportunities for me to actually do this full time. And so I jumped at it.
Wow. So I got to ask you this because, with me, I'm a recent graduated fall 2019. And I'm trying to figure out like just what that next step is. And I think the part that really just gets to me and sort of upsets me is like, I want to get to the success. I want to get to the LA part, but like the part in the middle is the part I really ain't feeling. So how was that for you?
Well, that middle part is tough. It really is. So yeah, you come to LA, the LA is, you can become whoever you want to be if you come to LA. LA is entertainment all day. So you can come to LA and, say I'm a this, I'm a that, and become that. But for me, I've never been a follow your passion kind of guy, only because I come from Chicago. I grew up in the hood. I had to work. Like I had to go get a job. I couldn't, play games and intern and do the things that you should do. I didn't have those opportunities. So I just went straight to work. I went and got a job. I had to make money. But fortunately for me, I was able to kind of work these jobs that I had and then do this on the side and learn what I needed to learn so that when the opportunity did arise, I was ready to transition. So I would advise, if you're able and if you can do an internship at Interscope or at Sony or at some of these places that you see yourself wanting to be, you do that. But if you can't, you find a way to position yourself within the business, meet folks, network, and just express what it is that you're interested in doing. Folks will help you. So that's kind of how it happened for me.
I love it. So you said that, even though you went to Northwestern, you have like some HBCU background though. So tell us a little about the HBCU background for you.
So again, I run the Purple Agency. My boss and the founder of the Purple Agency is Felicia Fant, and she is a Spelman alum. And so and just to back it up about the Purple Agency, what we do is we really inject culture into projects. So if you're really trying to get, the Black audience or to reach out to folks that may not hear your story, we're heavily entrenched in Black culture. So everything from culture creators to, we're doing, culture creators actually just recently launched the C2 Summit. And that summit is similar to what we're talking about now. It's a program that creates opportunities for college students at HBCUs to actually speak with executives at these labels, at these studios, at these record companies, and learn the business. So we're trying to figure out ways to bring people along. And so yeah, I do a lot with HBCUs, although I didn't go to one.
And I got to just bring this up, right? So with Northwestern, so we got to talk about the alum of Northwestern. So of course you're an alum, but I just want people to know how dope Northwestern is. So Stephen Colbert is an alum. Yeah. Seth Meyers is an alum. Yeah. You have Harry Lennox. Harry Lennox was in Stomp the Yard, by the way. He was the dad in Stomp the Yard. So yeah. So you have all these amazing alumni. Heather Hanley is an alum. So how does it feel?
You didn't notice Robin Thede, who I went to school with Robin Thede at the same time.
You went to school with Robin Thede?
Yeah, so Robin's my homegirl. She's the Black Lady Sketch Show.
Yes.
So she came from Northwestern as well. We have a strong. It's interesting because we do have a strong journalism program at Northwestern, and I think that's where a lot of folks start and kind of transition into some of the things they do. We also have a great arts program, so dance and those types of things. So Heather Headley is a great example as well.
Well, you got to tell me about. I love Robin Thede from the Nightly Show, and she had the rundown. Got to tell me about Robin Thede. Wait a minute.
Yeah, she's awesome. No, I mean we went to school together. We were there at the same time. I saw her doing what she's doing now on a collegiate level. She was creating these shows, doing similar sketch shows while we were in school. I mean, she's just hilarious to me, always has been. So it's really cool to see her, really, really, just out there right now, and doing big things and booking shows and creating shows. And she's a force.
She is. So let me ask you this. So this is something that we often fantasize about when it comes to our college career. So you have one person, you went to school, you popping, other person on TV or Issa Rae. So do y'all still stay connected? Is it still like a bond? How does that work?
Absolutely. The folks that I knew when I was there, we still know each other. Robin, I can call her right now and say, hey, what's going on? Yeah, we're absolutely still cool. Northwestern, it wasn't HBC, it was a white school. So it was a small black community and we were super tight and we still are. So, I think when I was there were 450 minority students. So that probably includes Latino, black, but we were all tight. And for the 4 years that we were there, we kicked it. And once we left college, we still keep in touch. So it's exciting. And even me moving to LA from Chicago, having those folks that were already here and connecting, it's been really cool. And I'm a new Kappa Alpha Psi. And
okay, so, look at you. Okay.
John Marshall Jones is from my chapter. He's actor, the smart guy. So he's out here in LA doing things. So yeah, we do connect, and we make sure that we keep in touch and talk to each other and get each other's opinions and help and advice and all that stuff.
I love it. I'm telling you what my goal is. Okay, I'll tell you what my goal is. So my goal is to one day someone do an interview like, yeah, I know Randall Barnes. He's doing a lot of great things on TV. Like that's my goal, Rick. Like I went to school with him. He did this stuff back in Fort Valley.
It's gonna happen because that's how it happens. That's how it happens.
I love it.
I knew you went. Oh, you know who else went to school with me? It was my class.
Who?
Meghan Markle.
What? For real?
We were in the same class. Freshman year. Yeah. Knew Meghan at the time.
Why? Like I'm gonna if Meghan went to an HBCU, she probably would have been a campus queen for sure. I can see.
She went to Northwestern.
I can see if she went to Howard or somewhere, she would have been probably Miss Howard or something. I could have seen that for sure. So let's talk about just the panel. So we're doing this panel, the HBCU Career Week Q&A session. It's going to be hosted by my co-host Shelby. So tell us a little bit about your role in it and what you plan to bring to the panel.
Yeah, well, so I'm first of all, I'm honored and thankful to be invited to have this conversation. But really, it's just going to be me talking about sort of my journey, how I got to sort of where I am right now. And there's been obstacles, again, like I said, I'm coming from Chicago where entertainment opportunities were few and far between. So, just really talking through how you can create a path for yourself if you don't live in a city where entertainment is popping.
I love it. So I'm super excited for the panel. And the reason why is because I believe that oftentimes at HBCUs, we get into the culture, we get into the Greek life, we get into the pageantry, we get into the SGA and the politics, but we don't get enough into how we can build connections, how we really can create careers at our institutions. So I really appreciate you and the Apollo documentary and all the panelists for hopping on and just disseminating information. I think that's incredibly important, especially in 2021 in a pandemic. I think it's just super important to come out on just the strong side of it. So let's make sure to support the Apollo documentary and make sure to support HBCU Career Week hosted by my co-host Shelby, going down March the 31st. We have a session at 6 p.m. and we got Mr. Watson's going to be on. He's going to be on at 8 p.m. giving that Northwestern knowledge. Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Look at that Northwestern knowledge. But yeah, so make sure to follow the Apollo documentary on Instagram at the Apollo Doc and make sure you RSVP because it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much, Mr. Watson. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Instagram, DreDog1911 or the Purple Agency PR Instagram.
I love it. Thank you so much. And you listen to Pulse Radio.
Take care.